Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Today at the Races Laurel Park for this Saturday. Another perfect weather day. Seems like this pattern is going to hold for quite a while here in Maryland. Temperature in the 60s. It's going to hold about the same temp all day long with plenty of sunshine. That means another fast main track and firm turf course here at Laurel Park. Winds out of the northwest, about 10 miles an hour, kicking up a little more than yesterday afternoon. Pretty much a non-factor, I think. Keith Fustel of Echo Base joining me. Dave Rodman here on set right near the paddock for a quick review of what's happening today at Laurel Park. And what's happening is a tough card. Another one.
It's a very tough card. The Rod Dog Jethro Show, day 2. Yeah, we're going to try to get you through this. And, it's been very, very challenging. I think the plan of attack in a lot of these races is key a horse or two, find your value, 6, 7, 10 to 1, whatever it may be, especially amongst the picks that we have, and work with that. Go from there in exactas and tries and supers. Your multi-race wagers, you may have to bet a little bit more than normal because they're that competitive, but no, we're going to get you started. Race 1, early pick 5, and these pick 5s, they pay handsomely at Laurel Park, the 12% takeout, and a mile and a 16th on the turf, Dave. Scratch all the alternates. Yep. They're all out now. El Delary, he was hanging on there for a while, and we'll wait another day for El Delary. But we're both focusing on the 2, Dr. Hyde, Dave.
Yeah, I would say we're focusing on the 2, but really any of the horses that I have in my top 4, I think, really have a legit chance of winning, and we got a couple of extra ones in there as well. I think one of the more kind of open races of the day where the winner might be a little trip dependent. Who's going to get the trip this afternoon? A lot of kind of evenly matched here, but we both land on Dr. Hyde, which will be our first video spotlight of the afternoon. What a trip he had in winning here at Laurel Park last out October 11th.
Definitely tripped out for Torrealba. Beautiful ride. Got some flow in front of him. 22 and 4, 46 and 4. I don't know if things are going to be that demanding this afternoon, but I think he can lay close enough with this post position to not get too far back. Boy, work through a seam. Down inside, kicked away, went clear by about almost 2 past the 8th pole and digs in late. I just like the improving form. The last 2 here work for me. And again, we're talking condition claimers, not a ton to trust, but the consistency over the last couple races. And I think at a mile and a 16th day, that's the key. I see a few horses in here that like to flatten late. I think he's got maybe one of the better sustainable runs in this group.
Yeah, the key, again, the trip. Perfect trip last time out, saving ground into the second turn, then angling out and splitting horses and coming on. As you say, a lot of horses really don't have that follow-through in the final 8th. I hope he doesn't get stuck behind one of those with any bad racing luck. That's why I say it's a little bit more open than that video. The 10 Big Star on the outside. Our second selection, I think every right to win here for Kerry Bryan. Since adding the blinkers, a good third and a win. So seems like he's okay with those blinkers added.
Come back to life with the blinkers over the last 2 races and talking about a trip. As long as he comes away from the gate cleanly, you're going to see Centeno put this one into the race early, go ahead and prompt, maybe even try to get the lead because there's no definitive straightforward speed in here. But I like the improvement. You talked about the blinkers on the 2-back try. Really caught my eye behind Sabi. 81 next out, just missing in a 3 in life for Mike Stidham. 210-3-4, 210-7-5 for Dave. A little price with Silver Bullet 20. Between the covers, one of those I worry a little bit about flattening.
210-5-4. I think I changed that.
Okay, 210-5-4. My
for
bad.
Me, that's I don't know. That my last minute change. I was thinking El Delary was going to get, didn't know. So 210. 5-4
for Dave. And Good Night Nile certainly works. I mean, just ran into a buzzsaw last time. Took the rating, was firmly rated, made that move. Just went against a horse that is coming back today, I believe, in the first level allowance for Kerry Bryan that ran off the screen.
So, he was rated back a little bit last time out. They might try to take a little more front-running tack today with him. So, again, it's 210-5-4. Keith, 210-3-4 in the opener on the turf, kicking off that early pick 5 with a mandatory payout. Race 2, there's been some money thrown around at the sales here.
Yes, $1.1 million invested in the first 2 horses. You're going to see Kings Road and Best Friend Rocket, both of them making their first start for Brittany Russell. One coming in from California, one from New York. Yeah, call me a sucker, I guess. Kings Road, and we talked about this morning. If this horse was really a dirt horse, and Baffert, turf is, you don't think of turf for Baffert, right? Normally. This horse, I'm a little concerned. First 2 starts on the turf, but by Quality Road, who hits with about 16 to 17% of its dirt routers. Bottom side, maybe not as much, maybe a little bit more turfy lean. We'll take the shot with the blinkers on, goes to the front, keeps on going. And I even said to you this morning, I'll be shocked if this horse runs second. He looks clearly like an all-or-nothing type for me.
Yeah, I mean, Brittany's got 2 in here. Also, Best Friend Rocket, another one moving from the Mott Barn to Brittany. But going back to Kings Road, you see that short comment, gaining comma, wrapped up late.
Yeah, no.
So, I mean, he lacked a little bit of room,
He
I think
did.
is what. But I think it was his own doing. This course is California. Different situation, different day. But he was kind of on his left lead, and then he was switched, I think, a little bit to his right lead. He tried to lean in a little bit there. So I don't know. I mean, he's going to have to be on his best. But being against the rail here on the dirt, he can shift in all he wants, right? I mean,
just skim it and go.
Skim and go.
Yeah.
Best Friend Rocket, another into the Brittany Russell and blinkers going on out of a triple key race at Saratoga and debut on the turf, won by Simulate. 2nd, 3rd, and 5th place finishers all won next time out.
That's impressive. You see the climbing comet, green kickback. I think even Dan Illman read up on his stuff a little bit today, was making comments about Best Friend Rocket's effort there. But, the speed, I think, just went on. The flow should be better. The blinkers go on, and has had a couple of works over this Laurel track. Maybe that's to tell there. Either one. Brittany is loaded, it looks like, in race 2. For a horse that, that's a non-Brittany, the 7, Paid Billy, interests me. I don't like the outer post, but I thought the debut on that sloppy seal track back in August was better than it looks. Off slowly. Also a little bit of a steady out of the gate for this Mike Gorham runner. Shifted out, finished quite willingly. Looked to me the type of horse, even watching the build, that wanted to stretch out. I'm not going to worry about the turf race. I like the turf build-up. We're going to go second blinkers here. You've got J-Rod out of a race in the debut. Sacred Thunder came back there on a big number. Was that Maryland Million Day, right?
Yeah, Maryland
Sacred
Million
Thunder.
Nursery. Broke maiden and then came back to run a big number on Maryland Million Day.
Okay.
Did Sacred Thunder, who Paid Billy ran against first time out. And I have him actually with a competitive number there behind Bangkok Bob. Beaten on the turf as the favorite, now coming back to the dirt, so it's giving him a leg up, maybe on a little conditioning. I think he's perhaps a little bit better dirt horse. Again, a little concern. Post 7, you say outside, but that short run into the first turn at a mile and the 16th. We'll see. J-Rod, he just might get aggressive on here. He usually does. Just ride him all the way to see what kind of speed he has out of the gate. He's going to be my value play, by the way. I already gave that away. But
we'll come back to it
come
again
back
if
to
you missed it.
Yep. Third race, mile and an eighth on the turf. Keith, you got to pick 3.
Yes.
6 horse will be Michael Sanchez, weight 119. And it's a $10.50 ticket. Mr. Economical.
The pick 4s have been beating me up. But, you're not getting crushed because we're not throwing a whole lot out there. But, yeah, we're going to start this pick 3 out in race 3. 147, 2x2. Reach Wheat holds some value at 8-1. And Sonic Speed at 4-1. Singling, race 4 the 3. Kick startness. It's a major assist with Minister for Magic out. I thought he was the threat to go ahead and press. It's going to be Kick Startness' race to lose. He kind of tries to continue the streak for Ness. Race 5, Spread-A-Rama. 2-year-old fillies, 5.5 on the lawn. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.50. If you want to hit all, it's not going to cost you much more, but we're going to keep it economical at $10.50 for that earlier pick 3, races 3, 4, and 5.
Thank you, Mr. Patterson.
You got it.
All right, third race, turf. Michael Sanchez on the 6, as we mentioned.
Yes.
We both have for the 7 on top here, Sonic Speed. And originally I was leaning toward Kendama, who kind of bucked the speed bias on the grass October 13th. I thought closed well despite the day the speed was holding. But going back and looking at this video, first off, the claim swayed me.
Yes. This was a really, really good run. Dropped in for 12.5 2 races ago at Monmouth. Could have been a theft there by Jose Delgado. This horse jumped back up, protected in a starter, gets stymied. Coming to the quarter pole, waiting. and you really don't see horses kind of quite kick on. We did see a horse that weaved out yesterday here come flying.
Wow,
but watch this run, the last 16th of a mile for Sonic Speed. Petite Fields looks gone, home free, straight and true, closing with a rush. I'm right back, second off the claim for Sonic Speed. Got some back figures against some good horses, a little bit more positional pace than 2x2, who knows how to win. What's he won? 5 of his last 6. Knows where the wire is 2x2, but let's see if we can get the jump and hold on late.
All righty, Sonic Speed there, both of us on top. Inside 2x2. This horse, 7-year-old, in great form, 12 lifetime wins, 5 of them this year. He seems to always work out a trip, just when you think he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, this is really a very, very consistent grass horse for the Nest Barn.
A couple of these races, Dave, you're watching, and you're like, there's no way. He's not getting there. He's not getting there, and he does. He beat a couple right on the wire here, right, going back in August. That was a really good performance. Retweet intrigues me. Dexter Haddock going for Roberto Perez. Very good form. Last time out, lack of Lasix in the Alphabet Soup Park. Fan wide. Moves closer inside today. I love the effort behind Crisper 2 races back. Crisper is a 2 other than type of turf runner. They can get the route of ground. I know that was a yielding course, but this guy is proven over firm ground. I think he's a stalk and pounce candidate here in race 3.
Yeah, he's got a good number back at Parks for me back in June. Again, back on Lasix this afternoon after a couple of stakes tries. One at Penn, one at his home track there up at Park. So 7-1-3-4, kind of same idea. Right. Yep. Okay, on to the 4th of the afternoon, and that will be at a mile. Second wire finish. As you said, a key scratch in 5, Minister for Magic. You thought he was pretty quick to try to run with Kickstartness. I wasn't quite so sure, but now we know Kickstartness is probably going to be the speed. Blinkers last, blinkers today.
Yes, blinkers
for Kickstartness. That's program change there. It's a late announcement.
That was my fault. I apologize. Let's call it as it is. Some of these horses that are dark come out with these dark blinkers, and sometimes the wraps, they like fooling the chart callers, right?
You don't
we miss it sometimes.
Yeah, you don't like them coming out of the paddock into the glaring sun.
It's tough sometimes. It's not easy.
Yeah, I thought it was a change. But yeah, it did have blinkers last time out. Kickstartness, he did have blinkers last time out. Anyway, this course kind of reminds me of B West. The voided claim. And then they jump him up. He wins.
Protect move.
Yeah. And now they keep him in for 20. So, I mean, he's in good form. He's won 4 straight. Did Kickstartness, and man, did he dig in, holding off Omar Cummins at this 1-turn mile. Speed is his specialty.
Yeah, he can get this, and he's going to go. If he breaks well, he should pop clear early. I don't see anybody that can lay close to him. If they do, it's going to be at their peril probably if they try to go ahead and press him.
Yeah.
So who are you looking at? Margie's Fun Son. I'll take a shot. He's proven over this track time and time again. Yeah, he's only won 2 races, but he tries hard. 275 ROI, second off the claim on the dirt the last couple years for the Schenkel barn, who's going quite well. He might need a little extra help. You know what? Melt With You certainly works. The other Nest, he might be the one that lays closest and can keep going. We saw Nest get the opener yesterday with a horse that kind of did that. Went ahead, was put into the race a little earlier. Things slowed down and was able to edge ahead late. It's Kickstartness here for me. Awfully short price, 3-4-2-7 in the 4th.
Already on to the 5th of the afternoon. That's the start of the Rainbow Pick 6. So we do have a carryover of $11,550 and change there. 11,551. It is 5.5 furlongs on the turf, and Mackenzie has a Pick 6 ticket, and she's going to single a horse in the Pick 6 today, race 6, and that is Beach Cowboy, my top pick. I think your top pick. Mackenzie's single, and I think it's a good single because the other race is a little bit more wide open. Starting with the 4 horses in the 5th, 1, 4, 5, 9, singling the Cowboy. 7th race, 6, 10, 13. 8th race, 2, 5, 7. 9th race, 2, 5, and 9. And yeah, and things on that Flinty Tin Tin Ferris Allen bandwagon in the 10th race, a barn that is rocking and rolling right now.
Yeah,
Ferris Allen
having a great run. Another guy's put a ton of time and effort into the game here in Maryland, and getting some rewards right now. Absolutely, horses are running great.
All right, so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now the alternates are all out. What do you have here?
Yeah, this is an interesting race, a spread race. You saw how I attacked it. But I've got a stat for Por Voce. I guess that's how you were going to pronounce it. The 9-horse, Graham Motion and Ruiz combination. This first-time starter. And when these two get together with firsters on the turf and sprinting, 2-year-old version, 441 ROI and a 43% strike rate. Not the strongest sample size, but it's going to work for me. A $650,000 purchase down at Keeneland. By Medaglia d'Oro. The mare won her debut, a 2-time turf winner, topping at 84. Lone Sib, not a whole lot, but of late has been okay. A couple good races out in California. I think a 75 recently and an allowance race. Let's see if this one's well prepped. Hasn't missed a beat in the morning, and it's just gotten to the gate. That's the first gate work I see on the page. Last time out, should be ready to roll here for Motion, the 9 Por Voce. But there's lots of ways to look at race 5.
Yeah, I went Caconation in here. Filly getting blinkers on for the first time. His horse, Filly, latched on to the pacemaker that day in 22-446 and 4 race taken off the grass and moved to the main track. Latched onto the pacemaker every step, and I marked down strong effort out of there. Race before that was 5th in the debut on the grass behind Pure Majestic, who in her next out won the Salima Stakes that was originally scheduled for the turf but moved to the main track. So I just like the way she ran last time out, and the blinkers going on today. And one Wall Street Magic, Street Magician filly. Intrigued by the Fairhill October 1st race from the gate, the work from the gate, 48 change. Bullet, the other horse that worked the Bullet from the gate, is unraced horse named New Sensation with a C, who continues to work well at the Fairhill. Couldn't find much about that horse, but if Wall Street Magic runs well today, I'm putting New Sensation on my stable mail.
All right, little breeding notes on a couple horses. I like it. Maybe some okay prices underneath the 6 you're going to have to tab because we know the family. Somnium by Street Boss out of ZZ Zoom Zoom. Okay, that's the family. Caravel, Witty, Enzo. She has produced a debut winner. 5 starters, 1 win, 2 seconds, and a third from those firsters. That works. A couple of them have been a little bit quirky. Woody with the gate, Enzo, interesting enough, a little swerving if I remember correctly with some of those races. But by Street Boss, 13% strike rate. Elizabeth Merriman, you don't think of firsters. 1 for 24 with firsters the last 5 years. But the ROI, again, positive, 242. Who was that winner? Caravel at 28-1. So I think this one's going to be ready. Some intermittent works, not a slew of works coming in. Tab the tote. The 2, Langley's Waterfall for Susan Cooney, Dennis Arrojo. By Justify, a 16% strike rate with turf sprinters. We know can get a debut winner. Lone Sib, 1 first out, and recently an allowance winner on the turf at Hawthorne. There's a lot to like there on this one, which you might get 8, 10, 12-1 on Langley's Waterfall. This is a race maybe you grab a hold of 2 or 3 horses, a couple of these fillies at prices, and work them almost with the field. But maybe demand is probably my 9's not going to be that kind of value. But the 2 or 6 could possibly fall into that and work it from there. Certainly your 1 I think is going to go off close to double digits. Tough draw inside.
We talked about Jim. We talked about Gem Runner too a little bit.
Absolutely.
I mean, if such an open race, I guess you had to toss somebody aside. I used the horse in the mix there. I really loved her last time out when stepping on the grass because I thought her debut behind Malibu Hooch at Timonium and that abbreviated sprint was outstanding. She's a painter filly, 14% strike rate in the grass for a painter, and she prompted a wicked pace, a set and prompted a long battle there and had every right to tire. I'm going to watch her down the line, even if she doesn't win today. I think she's got a little bit of ability, turf ender.
Respect anything Justin Nixon sends out. He's having a great year, 27%, 13 for 48 is I think might be the updated stats, but she is the proven speed, and she got caught in a hellacious battle there, 22-2, 45-2. No wonder. It had to take its toll. It took its toll leaving mid-stretch. This is a horse that's kin to chrome-plated heart, a multiple turf-winning sprinter.
Okay.
That's 5. That's the first 5, right?
That's the first 5, and it's time for a quick break, and we'll be back with the late pick 5 Jackpot Super High 5 in a moment. 6 will be afternoon. A jackpot super high 5 carryover, 3,000 and change. Also the start of the late pick 5. Carryover potential in the late pick 5. I do have a ticket for you, Keith, at the late pick 5. A little more economical day, $24. Didn't single anyone, but didn't go too deep in any of the races. I'm using Box of Rockets Beach Cowboy to kick off the sequence. And then the 7th race, a bit more wide open there. I'm going to try to get Biscuit with the Boss home. Basarati's sibling there, and the 8th race to use a 4 and the 7. Well, this is I really did like Chili Girl. I gotta say
in the
8th race, Ham Smith, but Ham Smith scratches that one, leaves the other filly in there, the Opportunity filly there, the 4 using that one, and Michelle. And the 9th race, 2 and 9. First time on the turf there for the Nest Runner and the 9. In the 10th race in Ferris, we trust to keep that streak going for the last 30 days and looking for water to close well. So there you go. All right. And you have on top in the 6th?
Yeah, 6. Jackpot super high 5. Right. So we got the 9 Beach Cowboy, going to be a very short price, especially with the scratch of Stormy Hollow. We'll go to the most recent race. Video Spotlight back October the 10th. Maiden 45 down to 36. Now we plummet down to 12.5. But Kieran, he's not scared to take a shot and go ahead and jam. This horse ran well. Beach Cowboy nursed along early down to the inside, made that move near the 3/8, and handled well here. You know, knew the jock had to save to the quarter pole. Unfortunately, Beaver State just too good on the outside. Now, he kind of emerges, Beach Cowboy does, in his own little match race with Lord of Mischief for the final 1/8 of a mile. Just to be outdone a little bit by that one, but I thought all in all, a very willing effort, turning back here to 5.5. Yeah, there's a little bit of speed to the inside, but off of the 7H should be able to prompt and pop if needed. Lord of Mischief came back to win at Keeneland yesterday for maiden claiming 30 with a 67 buyer. Beach Cowboy, a B or B plus race, I think can get it done in here, again, at a very short price. But Box of Rockets, if there's going to be a horse I think you can rate off of it and make the move, it's this one here, Dave, for Bobby Plummer.
Yeah, and you have to mention Lord of Mischief, as you said, won at Keeneland. For those of you maybe who printed out the form or whatever a few days ago, that's breaking news, so to speak. I mean, maiden 30 at Keeneland for Lord of Mischief, the runner-up to Beaver State, and just ahead in that battle with Beach Cowboy. Box of Rockets, 2 races back on the grass, 22, 44, 3 early fractions, press the pace while 3 wide. So he might get a little more aggressive here. The 7 race maiden. I think the race kind of between those two. Category Cinco throwing in. I had a good number off the Laddie Dance race there, but that was on the turf. And then the 5 in here, Hot on Your Heels. Also a good number 2 back on the turf as well. A lot of turf to dirt types here. That a little bit hard to read, right?
All right.
All righty, let's go on to race 7. And scratch the 3, the 7, the 9. Key scratch Little Regard. The other Brittany, you know when you know, draws in. And what do you know?
What do you know? I know you like the 8, Biscuit with the Boss. We'll start off with that one. Full sister to Basarati. This is a very quick filly by Holy Boss out of Candy Striper. Third off a little bit of a break. Went very fast. Down inside against the grain of the racetrack, I thought, on Maryland Million Day. But coming to the turf, you kind of see this one maybe getting to the front and not letting up.
Apparently she has some speed, kind of like her sibling there, who won the Maryland Million Tour Sprint, beating the boys, and Stormy Blues Stakes. So 2 stakes wins there for sibling Basarati. Full to Basarati, Biscuit with a Boss. Watch, I'm going to call her Basarati in the race. Don't
do it. Don't do it. My top selection's the 2. I'm wishing on a star here for Mike Denny. I thought it was a very good effort, beating a big field right to the front at Monmouth. Came back, reached maybe a little bit, but I tell you what, in the Grade 3 Matron, it wasn't that bad of an effort. Goes second-time blinkers, got off a little bit slow after a little bit of a brush. I thought ran into some traffic early. Kind of had to tap the brakes and then steadied again at the 3/8. I'm wishing on a star, made a little bit of a move from the quarter pole to mid-stretch just before flattening. I like the effort. I like the willingness to try with a better break. This filly, I think, can get position. I don't know if I want to see her just on the front dueling with Biscuit with the Boss, but I think she can sit there. She showed that move from the 3/8 to the 8th pole after recovering in New York. I think it's going to work here for the 2. I'm wishing on a star. Francisco Martinez gets the ride. Video.
Centeno.
Oh,
late change.
My bad. Late change Centeno.
Right. I was going to
Sorry
mention
about that.
I was ready to jump that. And I should have said it before.
Flying a
so
little bit
Centeno
late.
and Sheldon Russell on Biscuit with the boss.
Okay.
As Toledo will go to the other Brittany on the outside. Toledo named on 2. The other draws in. Okay.
As Carulli would say, ill-prepared. I was ill-prepared.
No.
Let's go to the video spotlight horse of the 13. You know when you know who draws in. And thanks, Steve Martin and the rest of the TV crew for getting this to us late. Appreciate that, because this was a pretty impactful race in debut. A little hop at the break, and then had to work through a little traffic. And there's that steady in the red and white check with the pink cap for you know when you know. But I'll tell you what, Dave, she recovers quite well. Yeah,
and came back to run on the Presque Isle, the Tapeta surface. So
yeah,
here we go. You know when you know. Second at the 8th pole call there. Where is she now?
Route outside, making a good sustained run. And what I like, Dave, is she collars the leader. She doesn't really kind of explode past, because she had a lot of work to do after that early trouble. But when they come to her late, this horse on the outside of Trombetta makes a big run. I think sandwich between Trombettas, but it was the gallop out as well. Maintained that position and wanted to keep going through that gallop up. A cleaner break out in the air. Don't want to be hung too wide, but there's going to be some speed to target. Kind of Brittany might have the best of both worlds with Biscuit with the boss, and you know when you know.
Yeah, good effort there. I forgot how good that was. Didn't go back this morning, but showing that really kind of rubber stamps a really good effort there from you know when you know for 5 Hellions Farm.
Price shot in here at 30-1 morning line. Might come down just a little bit because of these scratches. I'm going to use this horse a little bit. Maybe it's a reach. Joys of Summer, the 6 by Summer Front. You love this stallion with the turf runners. Bottom side, Clear Front by Dynaform. Huge turf there. 4 turf winning sibs. Goes synthetic to turf, coming off of that stalk and pounce kind of move for 20. But I think with the speed in here, shows the ability to close on the synth, might transfer and move up on the grass based on that breeding.
Not a lot of turf I could find on the 10C. You love me, but I like her running style. Debut at Colonial from off the pace, going away by a couple of lengths, so I know she can sit off any speed in here. All she needs to do is like the grass. That we don't know. But another thing caught my eye, she ran October 5th last out against Days, 8-length winner, who's going to be a really, really, really nice filly for the Brittany Russell barn Days. So that was a tough spot there in that allowance race.
Dave, this reminds me a little bit of the 5th. You know, the 2-year-old fillies, again, the maiden version. Lots of ways to go. You don't really want to maybe settle on a short price. The 11, Cal Lynch, we ran a stat, I think, the other day. You know, I talked about a stat, him going with these first turfs. And the 12, who also draws in. So just remember, the 12 draws in here, Christy My Love. One on the front end, kind of a speedy kind of a track that day, got to the front, kept going. But by McLean's Music, 15% turf sprint sire, full sibling, broke its maiden right off the bat, determined driver, wasn't bad, first out, and did it on the turf.
Yep, so, determined driver, broke maiden first out on the grass, so there's now 3 for 5 lifetime, so good pedigree there. And one more in the second dam, I know, going a little farther back there on the West Virginia bred.
Oh, yeah.
Holy Joni.
She ran
there.
great down
good number, I thought, a Colonial on the grass. Fits in this spot, came from right off it to win, track second, bid 3 wide there, and on the turf side, the turf second dam going back, ran okay on the grass in multiple races.
Yeah, fun race 7. We might see somebody really emerge out of there.
Okay, let's go to race 8, scratch the 6, Chili Girl. I give up. I kept trying to beat the 7. Michelle finally wound up putting her on top in here. I thought I had it with the Ham Smith Chili Girl. She's out. The other Ham is in here. But you're leaning to the another first-time starter in here. 14% first out winners for 2-year-old first-time starters for the Uncle Mo, the sire, and Mo Hype.
You spend $225 at Timonium at that sale. I think you might have yourself a little bit of a runner. I like the 2 kind of maybe demanding. Most recent workouts, 3/4, 16-3, 16 flat out of the gate, picking it up. You don't want this horse to kind of come up short. I don't think it will. Lone Sibling, 4 for 12, topped at a 90 on the dirt sprinting, was second, the Sibling, in debut for Wesley Ward down at Keeneland. So some precociousness there for the 2, Mo Hype, the daughter of Uncle Mo. The 4 got an opportunity. out of a 12-time winning mare. We're both going to use this Ham Smith runner, the other Ham Smith that stays.
Going back to the 7th race, just got a late scratch.
Okay.
6, Joys of Summer. That was one of your long shot. Yeah.
All that work for nothing.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there's still plenty of ways to go in there,
Okay,
right?
yeah, there is.
It's almost a blessing, really, right?
You had a point about these opportunities, Dave. I'm going to let you talk about it.
Yes. So anyway, I went to the opportunity side here with got a opportunity. Of the top 20 progeny by opportunity,
Okay.
I went back and counted. 9 of them have won first out.
Okay.
So you wouldn't think that. But what I'm saying is if this is a good filly and starts here maiden special weight, she's going to show what she's got first time out.
Yep.
So opportunity, kind of an overlooked stallion here. I know Hammy Smith with first-time starter numbers are pretty light, but this filly could run right through that if she's something. I just had to go for that angle in the 8th race with got an opportunity. Yeah.
You got a name like Mo Hype, you're supposed to be good. I
Right,
like that name.
should
Mo
be,
Hype.
right?
Yeah.
The dam of Mo Hype, just talking, 3 wins, all on the turf.
Okay, yeah, you've spoken about
yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
I like that
Right.
the Sib that won down at King.
Okay.
Let's go to the 9th. I know we're running a little short.
All
on
right,
time.
yeah, okay.
Race 9 maiden bred, sired. Mile on the turf, scratched the 11, scratched the 12. 13, did you get anything on?
Yeah, he's out.
Out as well. So
All
field
the
of,
MTOs
field of
and the
10,
alternates, yeah.
and we both land a horse that we're thinking, okay, in Ness we're going to have to trust because the only race that Must Be Love ran on the turf wasn't that great. It's going back to 2022, I believe. But we're going to trust in Ness that this son of Painter, who we've talked about before, Painter as a turf stallion, when they get one, they can really run on the lawn. There's not a lot of speed. If this horse doesn't land on the lead and clear, it could be over. We're going to take the shot with J-Rod and Jamie Ness on the front end with Must Be Love. This horse had a little issue last time out on the main track too. Speed, ease back, didn't have that comfortable flow. I think he's going to get it today if he can pop right to the front.
Yeah, the other issue, I know beaten favorite was Clubman. Showed him what a class horse really is, right? I mean, that was a tough field. Paco the Taco Man, Maryland Million Day. Final race of the day there. Is he the next Paper Mansion? Must Be Love, right?
Right.
Horse I keep trying to beat on the turf, and then here he goes. He wins again. This horse is that kind of speed, perhaps, and some turf there. Painter, as we mentioned, for me, I like is a good turf sire. Even though he never ran on the grass, it's interesting. And the dam, Some Kind of Love. A second dam was kind of a grass runner as well. I know, trying to reach a little bit way back. But looking at the pace scenario of the race, I think it's kind of a go. There's gun and go with him. See what he got.
Okay.
And,
I think the last sip you've got it. He just maintains pretty good form on the turf for Suzanne Satanius. Closed in quite well behind Hunter Joe. Hunter Joe would be your favorite in here, wouldn't
Yes, he would.
I would think.
Right.
So I'm going to use that one. We're going to also use the one who ran off the screen last time with the blinkers on. Let's go to a video spotlight horse, a horse that you pegged last time. The 10, Whiskey in the Jarro, Dave, ran huge at 84 to 1. We won't get that today. But this one was under a pretty aggressive ride, leaving the 3 ace pole, runs into a little bit of traffic upper stretch.
Right, there he is in the blue colors. A little bit of traffic and upper stretch, kind of right in there.
Yes.
Whoop. The other horse kind of came out. The other one came in, had to tip off the heels, comes back inside of the 2-path in the blue colors and finishes on nicely behind Omni King and Jay Hirsch. The reason I kind of liked him was that race at Parks back in February he came out of. Counter Spy, 7.5 length winner. That was a quick race, and he's run 2 strong figures since. A 94 at Parks Buyer number, a 92 in the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup and finishing 3rd there. And, all he had to do was kind of like the grass, I thought, and he could step up, and he did.
And he did.
At 84 to 1, but not quite good enough if you bet him win in place. Sorry.
That was tough. That little stop at the head of the lane. This horse really kept on well through the wire at a mile and 1/8, turning back to the mile. I think might need a little help, but that was an encouraging try. First off, a long break as well.
All right. Any more to add?
No, let's go to the 10th.
All right, 10th race scratch, the 1 key scratch, a Buck and Lucky, who I was going to try to beat anyway. 0 for 13 at Laurel Park. And let's go to Ferris Allen. Let's spin the Ferris Allen wheel and see what we have the past 30 days. He's 5 for 22, Ferris Allen Barn, 23%, positive ROI, $5.04. Flinny 1010, he's got a triple dog leg up.
Yes.
You know what that is, don't you?
Yes,
yeah.
I'm very familiar with that.
Yeah,
and she's
three numbers and three class raises.
Yeah, and
yeah.
she's the only 3-time winner in this field because we got the scratch of Buck and Lucky. And I love the way that she actually tracked the pace, even floated out a little bit, top of the stretch, was not phased and sustained that run. Going to see if Ferris Allen got the nightcap yesterday, right? Can do it again today with the Omar Ortiz.
Looking for water was closing in on Flinny 1010, but Flinny 10 dug down, and again looking for water with not as much speed as Flinny 1010. Going to be compromised again, perhaps, by trying to come from off the pace in a race without a lot of it.
Looks like it lines up just like it did. Trace Maria's Dream will try to go ahead and go.
Yep.
Couldn't hold last time with that slower flow, but Flynn dogged that one and kept on going. I'm going to go with the 6 as you are in the last and best bet value time.
Yeah, your best bet value play, then I'll roll with mine. Keith, you
Race
got
6 short price now, really short. I mean, maybe scratch that one. Beach Cowboy at probably 3 to 5 when it's all said and done. So I don't know, maybe use it in exact. I mean, maybe on top, maybe a 1 punch with boxer rockets, or use it in some doubles.
Yeah. And could be key time there. Ninth race, you're going to Must Be Love, horse we just talked about.
Yeah, both you and I are kind of hoping the painter breeding kicks in. It didn't a couple years ago. That's a different time, and we're here with Ness, and just an odd move. He knew this race wasn't coming off the grass. You're looking at the weather. I think he's going to try to go right to the front and keep on going.
All righty, my best bet in the third race. We showed you the video earlier in the show. If you missed that, go back and watch it for yourself. Sonic Speed, very impressive straight run down the stretch to wear down a loose leader in that final furlong. Did it quite impressively, retaining that form, second off the claim. And in a value play, in the second race, my original value play was Chili started scratch, so I had to kind of search around. I don't know. Brittany's got 2 in there. They're both going to be short prices, especially Kings Road. Pay Billy comes out of some strong races, and we'll see. Maybe he can get aggressive and track whoever's on the lead, or maybe try to make the lead from out there. Comes out, I don't know how that's going to really work out in race 2, but he's 6 to 1 in the line, and you're going against a horse that may be odds on.
Yeah, and it's a situation. Maybe you just key that horse in exacta boxes with both Britneys. You know, and a little exacta box with the other 2, but you know that's your stronger of the plays. It's how you use the value. You got to use it to your advantage.
All righty. 26 minutes out to post time, fast and firm today. Keith, thanks for joining me here
Dave,
on Today at the Races.
All right, good luck, everybody.
Good luck.